What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Purple and Gold podcast. Today, I am joined here with a new member. Chris K is here today, and Dylan Flanders from last week. We're going to be continuing the mock draft that we had, which was picks 1 through 10 in the previous video. If you haven't seen that one, you should go check it out on the channel. And I have to say that 86% of the people who are watching my videos right now are not subscribed. So please subscribe. Just do it. There's no money involved. Just hit the subscribe button and just support me any way you can if you are watching these videos. But other than that, let's get right into this mock draft. Today we are going to be going over picks 11 through 21. And today we are starting with the New York Giants, whose defense has gotten better this year under Joe Judge, but it's evident that there are a lot of problems on the offensive side of the ball. So with what is on the board right now, who do you think the Giants go with, Dylan?
I like Micah Parsons here, linebacker from Penn State. Yeah, just like you mentioned, their defense has gotten a lot better. One thing I would say is they could take an O lineman, but I think it got better last year with Joe Judge. Their defense improved a lot, but I think a linebacker here would be good with Blake Martinez. Blake Martinez is good, but he's really just a tackling linebacker in my opinion. So yeah, they could definitely get better in that area. So yeah, Micah Parsons.
All right, I'm gonna have to slightly disagree with that. And in my mind, I believe that the Giants pick Micah Parsons from Penn State.
All right. Honestly, after that, I think you're just a complete idiot. But yeah, I also agree. Micah Parsons should be the pick here at number 11, and that's only going to make their defense stronger. I don't see anyone here on the offensive side of the ball. I think they could go tackle. I think it's a high possibility that they go with tackle, but Micah Parsons, obviously, I guess some would say that he's slipping currently in this mock draft. So I guess it would make sense to take him here at number 11. Now, coming in with the number 12 pick is the San Francisco 49ers, who I think many believe shouldn't be this high up in the draft this year. A lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball, and they could pick up some more defensive pieces, I guess, to just build up that already good defense. But there also is Trey Lance, who is still on the board, and I think it's a high possibility that they take him because there are rumors that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be out of San Francisco soon.
Honestly, there's a bunch of rumors about Deshaun Watson getting traded, about Jimmy G going back to New England and all that stuff, and we really don't know yet. But if one of those happens, if Jimmy G ends up moving on, I think Trey Lance would be a good pick here. But assuming that Jimmy G stays, I think an O-lineman would be good here. Samuel Cosmi or Rashawn Slater, either one of those is good. But yeah, I'm actually going to go with Trey Lance because I don't think Jimmy G is going to stay here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I do think Jimmy G is going to stay, but I think regardless of that, the 49ers, they will pick Trey Lance. And I guess just surprisingly enough, with all their defensive injuries, somehow they're picking 12. I think they're going to pick Trey Lance.
Now, I think the most realistic pick here, would probably be a cornerback. But that's boring, that's lame, and Jimmy G is trash. So let's just give the 49ers Trey Lance because they could definitely use another
player. He brought him to the Super Bowl.
What?
Yeah, he brought him to the Super Bowl, homie.
No, the defense did. No, that is ridiculous. Jimmy G is not a Super Bowl quarterback. It was his defense with Robert Saleh, who is now the head coach of the New York Jets. That is the reason why they were in the Super Bowl. But anyway, we move on here to the 13th pick, where we have the Los Angeles Chargers, who just fired Anthony Lynn and replaced their head coaching position with the Rams defensive coordinator. And the Rams did have the number 1 overall defense this year. Now, this is a team that has all the pieces that they need to win, and they already found their franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert in this previous draft. So I guess you could say that there aren't a lot of holes to fill here with the Chargers, but they have to pick someone here at number 13. So, Dylan, who do you think it is?
The Chargers are a really good team that does underperform this year a lot. Mainly because they couldn't finish games just like the Falcons. I think I forget the stat, but most of their losses were like one possession games. But I think alignment here would be good. This will definitely be the pick for them. They don't really have a lot of positions to fill, but one thing on their offense and defense is their O-line that's not that good. So I think Rashawn Slater would be a good pick here for the Chargers.
Actually, I was going to go with the exact same thing. I think on paper, the Chargers are one of the more talented teams in the league. Severely underperformed. Defense looks good. Receivers look good. Herbert looks great. I think they're just maybe an offensive lineman or two away from winning the Super Bowl. But yeah, I will go with Slater.
That is a bold take for a team that hasn't made the Super Bowl since 19 whatever. We weren't alive then. But yeah, I think the Chargers definitely have the pieces to win the Super Bowl, I guess. I guess that's a really bold take. But yeah, I also agree. I think Sam Tevi is definitely not the solution at left tackle, and they have Brian Bulaga on the other side. So why not put Samuel Cosmi at left tackle for the Los Angeles Chargers? Now we move on to my Minnesota Vikings, who unfortunately had a horrible season. I remember at the beginning of the year, Mike Zimmer said that he never has a terrible defense. I just want to know what happened this year. That's all I have to say about that. But because our defense was bad doesn't mean we're necessarily going to take a defensive player here. I think it is still important for this Vikings team to focus on that offensive line that does not give Kirk Cousins any time to pass the ball. It is dreadful. I mean, we're going to talk about Pat Elflein, Drew Samia, Dakota Dozier. I mean, these guys are all just complete bums. They're scrubs. We need real offensive linemen here in Minnesota, and I think that's the pick here. Yeah, you're laughing. I'm crying. Dylan, go for it.
First off, I just want to say I hate the Vikings for all you Vikings fans that are here on this podcast.
You know what? No. We did not come here, okay, to shit on the Vikings, okay? We're talking about a mock draft.
All right, let's go. So I just saw that you put Samuel Cosmi for the Chargers, even though me and Chris both put Rashawn Slater. So I'm guessing you probably want Rashawn Slater from Northwestern. I think that's a great pick for you guys. Your O-line, Drew Samia, he sucks. He's absolute dog shit. I'm not gonna lie, bro. But I think Rashawn Slater would be a good pick here.
So yeah, picking for my Minnesota Vikings, as you can tell with from my Adam Thielen sticker on the wall. I really just want what's best for this franchise. The offensive line is terrible. The defense is just horrendous. But they found a new star in Justin Jefferson. But the person I think is the worst on the team is probably Kirk Cousins, which is why I believe and I want them to draft Mac Jones from Alabama.
No, you know what? We're done here. That is absolutely absurd.
He's a Seahawks fan, everyone. He ain't no freaking fake Vikings fan, bro.
I think they should pick Mac Jones.
This is absolutely absurd. We're going over this.
Yep, we have selected Mac Jones from Alabama. The Patriots pick.
No.
We're skipping it. We're going with Rashawn Slater. We're moving on. So now, after all of that, we forgot that we were doing a mock draft, but now we're back on track, I hope. Now, we're here at the Patriots pick. What? Look at Chris. Look at Chris's smirk. All right. Anyway, we're here on the Patriots pick. Patriots obviously not making the playoffs for the first time in what seems like forever with Tom Brady out. And I think that this could definitely be a spot where another quarterback is taken. Already 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 5, 6, or 7 quarterbacks go. And I think this could be one of the spots right here. Dylan, thoughts?
Yeah, Mac Jones could definitely go here in my opinion. He's a really definitely a pocket quarterback. He doesn't really. I don't know if you watch him at Alabama. He doesn't really run a lot. He's really good in the pocket, and as we know with Brady, Belichick likes those type of quarterbacks, so he could definitely go there. If they don't want to go quarterback, I can't even name a single tight end on that roster. So what's his name? Kyle Pitts could also be a pretty good pick here. Yeah, either one of those is a pretty good fit in my opinion.
Yeah, I do agree with that. If someone was holding a gun to my head and told me to name a New England Patriots tight end, I don't know what I'd do because who are the receivers on that team? Anyway, I guess you like Mac Jones, you like Kyle Pitts. I'll go on board, and I would say that they draft Kyle Pitts.
Okay, wait. So Dylan, I want to confirm with you. So, what exactly is the pick here, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I say. I actually, just like I said earlier in the video, there were rumors about Jimmy G going back to New England. I don't think that's going to happen, but if that does, and that definitely makes Kyle Pitts the pick here. But I say that doesn't happen. I say Mac Jones is the pick here.
Yeah, I say it's pretty highly unlikely for the Patriots to trade a quarterback. I feel like Bill Belichick has to keep living with the fact that he can take a, guy in the lower half of the draft and work well with it. I don't see him trading for a quarterback, but yeah, I definitely think Mac Jones is the pick here. Other than Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez, I can't name any other Patriots tight ends. So yeah, and neither of them are on the team anymore. So yes, that will be the pick. Mac Jones from Alabama. Yes, that might be kind of a reach, but then again, the quarterback position is the most important in football, and it's important for them to get it right after completely messing it up with Cam Newton. And they were limited on options this year. So I think now that they have a few quarterbacks available to them in the draft, I think they have to take that opportunity there. Now, number 16 is a team who fell off in the second half of the year, the Arizona Cardinals. They also have their franchise quarterback in Kyler Murray, so they don't have to worry about that here. But I think it's safe to say that the reason why the Cardinals didn't make the playoffs here is because of their defense. Their defense is just not good enough to win right now. And although the offense did have its struggles, I think the defensive side is what lacks right now in Arizona. So any particular position here, Dylan?
I would just like to interject before Dylan can get there. To people watching this video, do you see an inconsistency here when I say that Mac Jones was going to go 14th and everyone yells at me because it's such like a wild pick? Yet they go and favor Mac Jones going one pick after, as if that's not a reach of one pick after 14.
Chris, that's not the point. The Vikings don't need a quarterback right now. They have Kirk Cousins. Who's the quarterback on the Patriots? It's not going to be Cam Newton because he's dog. Okay,
Jarrett Stidham,
dog water, bro. Okay, get out of here. We weren't clowning you because he was going early. It's just where he was going. The Vikings will not take Mac Jones. Never. Okay.
Jarrett Stidham is just Kirk Cousins with more potential. All right, and that's it.
Get out of here.
Anyway, go ahead. Go on with your pick.
So yeah. So going on with the Cardinals, they're just like Braden said, their defense is horrible. Another thing that I think probably won't happen, but could is they're running like what's his name? Kenyon Drake. He's good, but he's very confusing in my opinion. He he just has some games where he'll rush for like 200 yards, and then he'll have games where he'll rush for like 20 yards. So a running back could be a possibility here. I don't think it'll happen, but I think a cornerback is definitely the position they'll need. So I would go with J.C. Horn from South Carolina.
All right, I agree that their defense was bad, but as bad as their defense was, towards the last half of the season, their offense was also trash. I don't know, for some reason, Kyler Murray could not throw the ball, and once teams learned how to contain him, just like Lamar Jackson, they never won a game. So I think that they give the offense a little bit of a second dimension, and I think that they go pick Harris, running back from Alabama, to help out Murray a little bit more.
Okay, I think that's a really good idea, but I think with the passing game that Cliff Kingsbury is trying to implement into the NFL, I don't see Najee Harris being a fit in what Kingsbury is looking to do. I think what Najee Harris is for the NFL is he's going to be like a power back. I guess you could say that he's going to be most like a Derrick Henry type of runner. I don't see him being a receiving back, which is what I think they were looking for. And I think that's why Kenyon Drake is probably the best fit for them right now, even though it's safe to say that he's underperforming. Now, it's pretty interesting. So first we have J.C. Horn here, and then we talk about bringing in Najee Harris. I think Joseph Osai would also be a good pick here at edge. Chandler Jones just tore his ACL, and then you have Marcus Golden on the other side. Both of those guys are still pretty elite players, but they're not guys that you're going to drool over on the defensive side. And I think whenever you have a good pass rush, I think that's definitely going to help. But then again, Joseph Osai has also dropped coming into the draft process here. And I think it would be a safe pick to go with the cornerback J.C. Horn out of South Carolina as well. I think Najee Harris could be the pick, but that's if they're looking to run the ball a little more, and I just don't see that happening. So I think the pick right here will be J.C. Horn. They're going to have a lot of good corners. I think they're definitely going to get rid of Kirkpatrick, but other than that, you're going to have Patrick Peterson, Byron Murphy, and then now J.C. Horn. So a lot of guys to work with in the secondary. So now we move on to the AFC version of the Arizona Cardinals, which is the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders also started off the season really promising.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas Raiders, yeah, whatever. Either way, Oakland, Las Vegas, they're still trash. So the Raiders, the Raiders. I'm sorry, I had to do it. But the Raiders.
Yo, Joey ain't gonna like that one, bro.
Yeah, let's hope Joey's not watching up until this point. But yeah, I think this is another team that needs a lot of help on the defensive side of the ball. There is nothing good to say about this defense, and that is ultimately what, costed them the season in the long run. They actually held the Chiefs, right? That is the Chiefs' one legitimate loss this season, but then again, you can't have one good game and then drop off the rest. It's hard to name who one of their corners are. It's hard to name who's in their linebacking group. It's hard to name a pass rusher on that team. So I think that they definitely need to take some sort of defensive player here. I think there are a lot of options here at number 17. So Dylan, let's start off with you. What do they do here?
Yeah, just like you said, their defense is definitely the worst part of their team. I would say their defense is bad, but I would say they got kind of unlucky this year. There are a lot of injuries, but their defense is horrible. This is what I would say. So depending on what the Cardinals do, I think J.C. Horn would be good for the Raiders too, depending on what they do. So I feel like this could be like a flip pick. So like if the Cardinals take J.C. Horn, then in my opinion, the Raiders would take Joseph Osai. And then if the Cardinals take Joseph Osai, then the Raiders should take J.C. Horn, something like that. But I think since we have J.C. Horn going to the Cardinals, Joseph Osai would definitely be a great pick here.
Okay, that's a pretty good analysis of the team. But I think without a dominant tight end position on the Las Vegas Raiders, I think that they would take Kyle Pitts. No. I do think they'll pick Joseph Osai, depending on what the Cardinals do.
I was about to never have you on one of these videos again. I thought you were being serious. But anyway. Oh, also, speaking of Darren Waller, okay? So the NFL has their all-pro teams and everything like that. They had, I think, 2 tight ends listed on the first team all-pro. And Darren Waller was not one of them, by the way. The second team all-pro, the tight end position is vacant. There's no one there. So Darren Waller just got absolutely disrespected in the all-pro conversation. But, continue, Chris.
See, he's not even an all-pro. I think, their rushing is okay. I would say that they should give Clelin Ferrell the benefit of the doubt for another year. So unless, I don't know, did he get waived or something? I would say they would pick Joseph Osai to help up their pass rush.
Yeah, I think they definitely need some sort of pass rush. I think if you're ever trying to start up and build your defense, I think you need a pass rusher, and that's what they were looking to get out of Cleveland Farrell. But man, I mean, what an
What a
absolute
bust, dude. Honestly, yeah.
exactly what an absolute bust of a pick. I mean, you had Josh Allen still on the board in that draft, and you take Cleveland Farrell. You can talk about scheme fits all you want, but man, that was just absolutely ridiculous. That's a guy that should have been taken later in the first round, if anything. But yeah, I think they're done with the Cleveland Farrell experiment, and Joseph Osai from Texas joins the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, here we have one of the most unlucky teams in NFL history, in my opinion, the Miami Dolphins picking here at number 18. Man, with 7 teams now available to make it into the playoffs, this is a team that went 10-6 and still missed. When we have teams like Washington, who went 7-9, the Bears, who went 8-8 in the NFC, they got a chance to win the Super Bowl, and Miami didn't. So really unlucky for them, but they're going to be drafting here at 18 nonetheless. And we take a look at their team needs. Earlier in this draft, we gave them Penei Sewell. That was shown in the last video. So the offensive tackle position is taken care of. But now that they have another pick, what do they do here at number 18?
I think this is a dream pick for the Miami Dolphins if he's still there. Najee Harris. Yeah, this would be a great pick for him. One thing, too, it needs his weapons, and depending on that third pick, what they want to do, they could trade back with it. They could take Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase there. That's great, too. Penny, I mean, honestly, the Dolphins are in such a good position right now in this draft. But if Najee Harris is still there, or Travis Etienne, I think Najee Harris is a better running back. But either one of those would be fine because Tua just needs some weapons to do with. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't take a running back here. Myles Gaskin is actually pretty good in my opinion. He doesn't. He's not anything crazy, but he does what he needs to do. And yeah.
Yeah, I think they could improve. Very tough luck for the Dolphins this year. Everyone was complaining about the Steelers went 8-8, missed the playoffs, but come on. Anyway,
Bro, the Steelers, what?
Last year when they were like,
last year.
We went 8-8. The freaking Dolphins went 10-6. Anyway, I don't know how Kyle Pitts is still here. I think Myles Gaskin, he's young. He has a lot to grow into. I think the offensive line is pretty good. I think Gesicki is not quite there yet, or I don't think he is like touching the elite level, right? And that's just my opinion. For some reason, we have Kyle Pitts still on our draft board. I think they go pick Kyle Pitts, give Tua one of those weapons, just to help him out a little more.
Wait, Brandon, I'll let it say something. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna. You wanted to talk.
Yeah. I just wanted to say one more thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, bro. Actually, Kyle Pitts would be a pretty good pick here because he's a weird player. Like his position is tight end, but I feel like in the NFL he could play wide receiver. He's not really like a huge player to be a tight end. So I think Chris is right. I think this could also Kyle Pitts could also be a really good pick. So yeah, my bad. Sorry for interrupting.
No, yeah, okay. I was gonna say the same thing. This guy is a tight end, built like a wide receiver, and after what happened after the Cincinnati pick, there was a run on wide receivers. Now we take a look at the top wide receivers left. We have guys like Rashad Bateman and Terrace Marshall left. Those guys are definitely good. Would definitely be good picks if you take them here at number 18. But I think if you're in a situation where Kyle Pitts falls like he has right now, I can't see you passing up on him. Even if you have a Mike Gesicki, just because you have one good tight end doesn't mean you can't have two on the field at the same time. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kyle Pitts play a little bit of wide receiver too. So, the Dolphins actually might have a good draft ahead of them if this happens, because here you're in two positions at number 3 and 18 where you're going to be drafting the best player available. So, man, the future, I guess, is looking really bright for Miami. And if they really want Tua to be their franchise quarterback, getting that future left tackle and a tight end like Kyle Pitts, I think, is going to help Tua succeed in this league. All right, so now at number 19, one of the worst teams ever to make the the playoffs in the Super Bowl era is the Washington football team, as we call them now. And this is a team that obviously shouldn't be in the playoffs, but made it anyway. Now, there was so much trouble with the quarterback position this year. Alex Smith had to play majority of the year when he probably shouldn't even be playing football. We have Kyle Allen, who had to get carted off the field. Dwayne Haskins gets cut. Taylor Heineke looks promising, but I don't think he's the future. But now that all of those quarterbacks have been taken, I don't know if Kyle Trask is really a round one caliber quarterback. I think he has mediocre arm talent. And, you look at the guys who go higher up in this league, these are the guys with the strong arms. And that's why you see guys like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen having so much success in this league now. And that's the one thing that Kyle Trask lacks. So I don't see them taking a quarterback here, which sounds crazy enough because we have no idea who their quarterback is going to be. So what is the direction that Washington goes from here?
Yeah, you said it perfect. Kyle Trask is not a first round talent. If Washington gets in the position where all the quarterbacks that have been taken so far are actually taken, I think Christian Darrisaw is the pick here because their defense is really good. I wouldn't see them taking any defensive players in the first round for need because honestly, I can't really name a position where on defense where they weren't really good. Their D line was amazing this year. Like Chase Young was a great pick. I mean, you look at the depth in that team. I think Ryan Kerrigan, I think he was like a second string or third string, and he's still a really good player. So yeah, and wide receiver, running back, Antonio Gibson was great this year. Wide receiver, they had Terry McLaurin, some other great wide receivers, Sims and stuff. But yeah, I think they can juice that O-line a little bit more. So I think Christian Darrisaw is a good picker.
All right, if this is just the mock draft, I will agree and go with Darrisaw. But if it's looking at what do you think will happen in the entire offseason, I think that Bill Belichick will somehow manage to get Deshaun Watson. And I know I said that Mac Jones would be going 14th to Vikings, but if I had a choice, I would think that Mac Jones gets picked here. But I don't know. I think he looked really good last year. Maybe he can turn them into a great team. I don't know. This offense is a mess, kind of. But sure, Darrisaw is.
Yeah, so here's the thing. There are a lot of needs here to fill on this team. Obviously, Ron Rivera was surprised himself that he even got this roster into the playoffs. I want to ask you guys a question here. Can you name me one, not pass rusher, but like a real middle linebacker on this Washington team?
No.
No.
Yeah, the team is obviously really thin at the linebacker position. So I think that is definitely a spot where they go here. Now, offensive line would make sense, but their offensive line played phenomenal this year. I think Christian Darrisaw does still make sense, but
Thomas Davis?
Thomas Davis is retiring.
Yeah, I know.
That is so sad, and that's like the only linebacker that, majority of people would know. But yeah, I think an offensive lineman does make sense here. I think wide receiver could make sense. But then again, you draft an offensive lineman, who are you protecting, right? You draft a wide receiver, who's throwing to these receivers. I think it makes sense to take a linebacker here. And if I say his name correctly, I'm going to take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. Does that seem like a logical pick? I think it does.
I would think so. Through the power of the internet, John Bostic, middle linebacker, who I'm not familiar with this guy. Michael Kendricks, even though he's like 55. But
yeah, you're proving Braden's point. You're proving Braden's point correct.
Yeah, so I think they take a linebacker here. There's no direction right now for the offense, and I don't think that it would be smart to just keep focusing there. But those are our last three picks right there: Joseph Ossai, Kyle Pitts, and then Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Now, here's another interesting team here who also needs a quarterback. Shouldn't have made it to the playoffs. Now they're all the way back here in the draft. they might have to be stuck with Nick Foles for this 2021 season. Who knows? Again, I don't think Kyle Trask goes here, as desperate as they are for a quarterback. And I think it's safe to say that this is a pick where another offensive lineman goes. This offensive line was one of the worst in the league this year. And if Nick Foles is the quarterback, you're going to have to give him time to throw. And I think that Christian Darrisaw should be the pick here at number 20.
Yeah, I agree with that. One thing I'm going to say, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do, is I think it's pretty clear Allen Robinson doesn't like being in Chicago right now. I think he's not going to come back this year. So I think, what's his name? Mooney, Darnell Mooney. I think that's who they drafted this year. He's promising. He's a good promising wide receiver. But besides that, I don't really like the wide receiver group. So I wouldn't be surprised if they took Rashad Bateman or Terrace Marshall. But I think the safest pick right here, because their O-line sucks, is Christian Darrisaw. So
Yeah, I think the only other receiver other than Mooney that we can think of is probably Javon Wims, who would rather throw punches than catch a ball in the playoffs. But yeah.
I hear that Gardner Johnson asks for it, but anyway, I think the Bears have a lot of issues. I don't think Allen Robinson wants to come back. I mean, like, does your team roll with Nick Foles? What is that? And Kyle Trask is the only quarterback within miles of acceptability being picked here. And, he had a great season. It's very similar to Joe Burrow's season. I think they pick Kyle Trask. I think Kyle Trask is acceptable here. So I would say they go pick Kyle Trask.
similar to Joe Burrow's season, bro. What are you smoking, bro? Get out of here, bro.
No, maybe not the end result, but their stats look pretty similar.
Nah, I'm sorry, dude. If I mean his last two games, I think were horrible. He lost to LSU, really LSU without Jamar Chase. Like they literally lost like half their team from last year when they won the championship, and you're gonna lose LSU.
Shut up.
Yeah, okay. I'm just speaking the facts, Chris. That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
Okay, so here's the argument that I'm going to make for Dylan. You already had Allen Robinson, right, this year. You already had Mooney, Wims, Miller, whoever. I don't think any guy from this draft is actually going to make that wide receiving core better. I mean, you already had Allen Robinson and couldn't succeed in the passing game with that. So I don't think a wide receiver helps here. This might sound absurd, but I actually kind of agree with Chris's point here where they might take Kyle Trask, because is that not the most Chicago Bears thing to do? I mean, they cannot draft a quarterback correctly to save their lives. I think they're the only franchise left in the NFL that has never had a 4,000-yard passer in a season. I think Kyle Trask right here would be the most Chicago Bears pick ever. But, I mean, I'm still going to stick with the fact that they go with an offensive lineman here. But, I mean, shit. Should we just draft a quarterback for the heck of it? What do you guys think?
I think Kyle Trask, and after you brought up your point, Kyle Trask is too acceptable of a pick for the Chicago Bears. With the likes of Sam Ehlinger out there, they might go for him instead.
Come on, Drew. Jamie Newman. Come on.
I think you should go for it. I think they should pick Kyle Trask.
Yeah, and you know what? As a Minnesota Vikings fan, I absolutely hate the Chicago Bears because, we always lose to them at least once a year. So why don't we go down here?
And I don't like the Bears either.
Yeah, we don't like the Bears. So let's give them Kyle Trask, who's number 85 on this TDN board right here. But we don't care. We don't care because it's the Chicago Bears. So, yeah, if you're a Chicago Bears fan, I don't really care. You can get out of here. This is the Minnesota Vikings channel. Yeah. Anyway, other than that, we are entering the final pick of today's video, which is number 21, the Indianapolis Colts. Wow. I mean, is this a coincidence? This is another team who might lose their quarterback this offseason. Phillip Rivers looking to retire and have more babies, apparently. But, at 21 here, they could also go with a lot of positions here. As you can see here, I think it's pretty ridiculous that they have an offensive tackle here. I think maybe that's because Costanzo just retired. I think that might be the reason. But other than that, their offensive line is really good. I don't know what the direction is here. Could it be Darasol, who's been slipping?
Okay, so I think I don't think this is crazy. Actually, I think that they are going to trade for Carson Wentz during the offseason. And I think, and I stand by this. If I'm wrong, you can make fun of anyone. I think Carson Wentz will succeed in Indianapolis because he has an O-line that can protect him and a great running game. Now, yes, we know Carson Wentz. He makes some dumb decisions, but that's because this year when he was in Philadelphia, he had no weapons to do it, so he kind of just had to like do whatever he wanted, and his O-line sucked because of injuries. So they have Jonathan Taylor, they have Nyheim Hines, though that's a great running back duo. But for Carson Wentz, a wide receiver would be here. T.Y. Hilton, I don't know if this is I think this is his contract year, right? Is this his contract year? Yeah, so he's going to be retired. Michael Pittman looks promising. I don't know. The wide receiving core is a little it's not that good. So I think Rashad Bateman or Terrace Marshall right here would be a great pick for Carson Wentz to maybe get his weapons a little better.
Now, I do think that the Colts trade for Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz will suck buns. The Eagles had receivers, all right? They had not a great offensive line, but they had receivers. Right?
Yo, what did you just say? No.
So,
Be quiet.
you're telling me.
Repeat what you just said. You're going to tell me
So
Alshon
you're
Jeffrey
telling me that the receivers changed from
that
Carson Wentz to Jalen Hurts? So Jalen Hurts threw to better players? Jalen Hurts threw to the
he
exact
didn't, in my opinion, didn't look that good either. I mean, he looked okay.
What? You thought he didn't look much better than Carson Wentz?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Dude, the weapons there are not good. They're not good there.
Are you stupid? No, Jalen Hurts is way better than Carson Wentz.
Chris, name 4 of the wide receivers on that team. Name 4 wide receivers on that team, Chris.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Exactly. He's not even playing. He wasn't even playing.
Greg Ward.
Oh my God, bro.
Okay, I'm not saying that you have to know them, but I think that they were talented enough.
No. All I'm gonna say is that point is horrible.
Anyway, I think Carson Wentz sucks. But yeah, I would think that they pick Rashad Bateman here. I think Carson Wentz sucks.
One second. Bro, I'm fine with you saying Carson Wentz sucks, bro. But when you say that he had the wide receivers are great in Philadelphia, you're crazy, bro.
No way.
They passed up on DK and they passed up on Justin Jefferson to get who? Name me the 2 wide receivers that they got.
Like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. You know how good those players are in the NFL? No, they suck. They suck. Okay.
Arcega-Whiteside had his best season of his career. He had like more catches this year. Jalen Ray,
for you to say that J.J. Arcega had his best career season isn't saying much. It's not. I mean, that's just as significant as Nate Sudfeld playing in his first primetime game on Sunday Night Football. I mean, both of those guys are irrelevant. So, yeah, I think it's logical here. I think the Colts – wow, we're talking about the Colts. I forgot about that. I thought we were talking about the Eagles. We're talking about the Colts here. But, yeah, it's a team that has T.Y. Hilton right now, Zach Pascal, Michael Pittman, Paris Campbell if he's ever going to, be on the field again. But, yeah, I think they definitely take a wide receiver here.
Yeah, Mo Alley
go with Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. Sorry, what were you saying?
I think, sorry to interrupt you. I think Mo Alley Cox is way on the rise.
Bro, we weren't even what? Dude, they have Jack Doyle and who's the other? Trey Burton.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wait, isn't Mo Alley Cox their 3rd string?
He had another really good seasons. Hey, those other 2 guys are gonna retire soon, all right?
Wait, how old is Jack Doyle? Like, I think is he in his 30s?
Jack Doyle is old. Let's just put it in that.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's pretty old. But
Hey, all right, I just looked it up. 30. That's it.
All right. Chris continues to interrupt me. What a dick. All right, so now we're going to just go over the picks that we had, obviously starting at number 11 here, as you can see on the screen. So Micah Parsons goes to the Giants, Trey Lance to the 49ers, Samuel Cosmi and Rashawn Slater to offensive linemen going to the Chargers and the Vikings. Mac Jones goes to the Patriots. J.C. Horn to the Cardinals. Joseph Osai to the Raiders. Kyle Pitts to the Miami Dolphins. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to the Washington football team. Kyle Trask to the Chicago Bears. And Rashad Bateman to the Indianapolis Colts. Those are the 11 picks that we made today. I don't know. I can't count. But we're going to go over and do the same thing that we did to conclude this video as we did the last
10 picks.
Okay, 10 picks. Thank you very much. We're going to go over who we think had the best value pick. For me, this is an obvious one. It's got to be the Chicago Bears. I mean, how can you go wrong with Kyle Trask and getting your franchise quarterback? So, yeah, Kyle Trask is definitely my value pick for 11 through 21. Dylan, who is your value pick for this section?
Okay, I'm not going to be joking around like Braden because he's not funny. So
I'm not joking.
Yeah, shut up. Okay. I think it's pretty obvious here that the Miami Dolphins have once again, like I said in last video, probably have the most valuable pick here with Kyle Pitts. I mean, like if that can happen, that's an absolute steal for them. Now let's be like where reality is. That's probably not going to happen. I would say the most valuable pick. Probably maybe the Patriots. I mean, they could do anything with that pick. Mac Jones. Honestly, the Patriots pick is actually important for a lot of other picks too, because if they don't take a quarterback there, you could have the football team taking a quarterback, the Bears taking a quarterback, the Colts taking a quarterback. So yeah, I think that's a pretty valuable pick right there.
I do think that some quarterbacks can turn out. Mac Jones, if he turns out well. Trey Lance at 12 to the 49ers. The 49ers really are one great quarterback away. But, Micah Parsons at 11, I think that's pretty good to a team that really needs defense that's on the rise. And if Danny Dimes, he's like the fastest white guy in the NFL, right? If he can stop fumbling and stop throwing interceptions, make some good decisions, I can see the Giants having a pretty good future.
All right, so yeah, if I'm being realistic here with who I think had the most valuable pick, it's definitely going to be the Miami Dolphins. They drafted probably one of the top 10 players in this draft this year, one of the most versatile players that we've seen come out of the draft recently. But yeah, I think that's definitely the most valuable pick here for 11 through 21. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you've watched up until this point, hopefully we see Chris come back for another video. I know Dylan will definitely be back for the next video to conclude this mock draft. But yeah, I just want to remind everyone that 86% of you are not subscribed. So subscribe to the channel if you're watching this. And yeah, any final thoughts from you two?
Yeah, rise up. Let's go, Falcons. Come on, let's go. Get on this.
Just subscribe. What are you waiting for? Just subscribe.
Yeah, that is fact. Subscribe.
And also, background, Vikings, Jimmy Graham, Saints jersey. I'm a Seahawks fan. Go Seahawks.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's video.
Nice Seahawks jersey. Nice Seahawks jersey you got there, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the hit the like button. What am I saying? And leave a comment. Tell me whatever you want. I'm here to argue with you. Start a debate in the comment section. But yes, that is today's video. Picks 11 through 21. If you didn't watch the last video, those are picks 1 through 10. And picks 22 to 32 will be next week. We will see you guys later.